Hey guys, this is me Rachit, and I have not been able to solve or participate in this month's long challenge, but I recently just opened up and saw the list of submissions, and out of these 10 problems, I just queried the fifth problem, and I found it very much exciting to solve this problem using square root decomposition. And I think it was a good video that I can share with you guys and tell you how square root decomposition can be used to solve questions. And it's really, very easy to solve it using square root decomposition. If you look at the source code, it's like very small, just this much. So the problem over here is that you are having an array of size n. The constraints are good enough, 10 to the power 5 standard, and there are again q queries on the array. Queries are of two types. In queries of type 1, you are given two numbers I and x, and you are supposed to update your array with putting the value x at the ith position. And the second type of query is you are given again two numbers I and k, and the question is basically you are looking for the number of prefixes of the array which are having XOR value equal to k. So prefixes means subarrays starting from position 1 of the array. So it's kind of a prefix, right? So the number of prefixes of the array having their XOR value as k. XOR value of a prefix means the XOR of all the elements of the prefix. So this is what we are supposed to do, and let's get started. So let's say you're having this array and you are having these two queries. So let's do one thing. Let rtn be equal to under root n, and it might not be an integer, but we can always round it below or take the floor. So what I'm going to do is place first root n numbers over here, the first row, then place the next batch starting from root n plus 1 and so on up to a to root n, and so on and so forth. So there will be root n elements over here and root n rows. So it's kind of a 2D matrix. And the last row might or might not be full depending on the value n modulo root n. So that doesn't matter. But the point is now we are having a matrix. So let's call this matrix as mat. And similarly, let's have some another matrix dp. Again, it would be of root n cross root n size. And the point over here is, so I have divided my array into buckets, root n buckets, which are rows. So each row is a bucket, and each bucket has root n numbers in it. Okay. So let's consider the ith bucket. So it has root n numbers starting from, you can easily find that out. And what's going to happen is dp, we are going to build a store for every bucket. We are going to store the prefix XOR values. Like you have prefix sum, right? Where for given array, use dpi is giving the sum of the first I numbers. So similarly, dpi can be used to give the XOR value of the first I elements. Okay. So we are going to do this for each of the buckets. So there will be root and rows, one for every bucket. And let's say for the ith bucket, you will be having this dp array. So dpij is nothing but the XOR of all the first j elements of bucket I. So in this bucket, you find this dp, you fill this dp array, then dpij can give you an o1, the XOR of the first j elements. Okay. So I hope this much is clear. And to fill this, you will take O of number of rows into number of columns. So root n into root n. So this becomes O of n time complexity to fill up both of these matrices. Okay, so once we are having this, what can we do next? So when you're having the query of this type, where you are supposed to change the ith element to x, so you know the bucket in which ith element will be. So go to that bucket, let's say that's b, and in that the ith position of this array will be at some local position j, suppose. So we can just simply update that. So we will put x over here. Okay, so basically mat bj will be x, only this much. But then you need to pre-compute the dp array for this bth bucket, right? Because the dp values will get disturbed after the position j plus 1 and so on up to the ending. All these value get disturbed because this element is changed and we are storing the prefix answers. So you need to update your dp array, but it's of only root n size, so it can take O of root n time complexity. Let me just put that in red color over here. So this query is handled in O of root n, because this command is O of 1 and this updating the dp array for this bth bucket is O of root n. So this that time complexity to handle the queries of type 1 is therefore O of root n. What about the second query? So for second query, we are supposed to iterate on the prefixes of the array and look if any of that has XOR of all its elements as k. So that can be divided and even answered using uh, these matrices that we are having over here. So to do that, what we are going to do is we are going to iterate on buckets. Okay, we are going to iterate on buckets, and let's say this is the first bucket of root n elements, this is the second bucket, then the third bucket, then the fourth bucket, and let's say the ith element is in this bucket. So this is the ending, let's say it's over here somewhere. So all those buckets which are before the bucket of this index that we are given in this query, what we will do is we will query the number of elements in this bucket which are equal to k. Okay, and let the XOR of all these elements be x. Then we will query in this bucket the number of elements that are equal to x XOR k. Okay, because the number of elements with of this value in this bucket can basically give us the combined prefix of again k, right? So let me explain you again. What we are trying to do is we are trying to count the prefixes which are having XOR as k, right? Now my point is, for every bucket which is of root n size, we will calculate what we are having this dp, where dp I is giving us the first I elements XORs value. And what we also want is we can also count what is the occurrence of some number x in every bucket. So for every, for bth bucket, we need to find how many elements are there whose value is x, or basically the occurrence of x in bth bucket. So when I'm saying occurrence of x in a bucket, I'm trying to count the occurrences in dp array, not the regular array. So basically if this bucket is having 2 3 4 and something 5, so fill the dp table, let that be 2 7 10. I'm just taking random values, it's obviously not this 16. So let this be the dp array obtained by these numbers 2 3 4 5. So I'm maintaining the count for these numbers. Okay, so what now I'm doing is, so the prefixes that are ending in this bucket only, we just count the occurrences of k in the dp array of this bucket, and we add that to our answer. Now we will count all those prefixes that are going to end in this bucket. So for that, This bucket is already included, and the XOR of all elements in this bucket is X. Fine. And what we need is count those prefix that are ending in this bucket, and the XOR value is K. But we already know that this bucket is having XOR value of X. So we need to count the prefixes of this bucket which are having the value X XOR K, so that when this X is combined, X XOR X is 0 and 0 XOR K is K. So we get K as the final XOR value. Okay, I hope this is clear now. So let me just change the color. Yeah, so the XOR of this bucket is X. We count the occurrences of X XOR K in this bucket, add that to our answer, then move on and let the XOR of all the elements in this be Y. Then in this bucket, we need to count X XOR Y XOR K, the occurrences of this number in this bucket, add that to answer, and so on and forth. And finally, when we reach this bucket, we would be having the XOR of all these elements of all these buckets as, let's say, some X XOR something blah 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 blah. Let that variable be free. So now what we are going to do is iterate on elements in this. There can be at max root n elements over here. So just iterate simply on them, keep on XORing them with pre, check if pre is k, then increment the answer by 1. So in this fashion, you are basically counting all the prefixes that can have their XOR value as k. I hope this is clear, and the time complexity for this is straight enough. So there are root n buckets that you can traverse at max, and for every bucket you are counting the occurrences of some number. If you are using unordered map, that can be O of 1. If you are using map, it would be log n. So let's say if you are using map, then the time complexity for this can be root n into log n. Fine. And for this it would be O of root n. So this dominates. So for second query, time complexity will be this. Fine. So when I tried to submit this, I got time limit error, but then I increased the root n values because this is root n, guys, and this is root n into log n. So I just tried to increase root n and it then got accepted. I hope I'm making sense, because I needed to decrease this value as 10 to the power 5 is the value of n. So I had to decrease this value, and I was just fine tuning my solution. So to decrease this value, I can't change log n of course, but I can change the bucket size. So I try to increase the bucket size from 316 or 317, which is root n, to 600, and then I was started getting accepted answers. But finally my solution got accepted at the bucket size was, I guess, 1000 or something, or 800 maybe. So this is fine tuning a solution just to get accepted, but the real fun was in thinking the solution. Square root decomposition made this question damn easy to solve. Guys, I hope you had fun. You can find the source code on this in my GitHub repository, which the link you can find below in that video description. I hope to join you in the next video, which would be soon. If you guys like my video, please share it among your friends so that the subscribers count increase. It's very low right now. Thanks guys, have a good day. Happy coding.